Hello there. Okay, now we are on paragraph 2B, and 2B is going to talk about the property that is to be acquired. So, what kind of property? Remember that we have to define the purpose behind what we're doing. And part of that definition is here is the subject matter of our agreement. Okay, maybe a specific address, maybe not, but we have to define what that looks like. And remember, the more broad that you make it, the less likely it is to be enforceable. The more restrictive, the more narrowly it's defined, the more likely that it would be enforceable by a court of law. So broker, including any associate licensee working through the broker on behalf of the buyer, provide services for the type of properties in the locations specified below. So again, this is the big picture. I want to take you over to the incidental part itself. And so let's talk about this. Okay, so paragraph number B1, so 2B1 is property type. And here we're going to talk about single family residential. By default, that's going to be in there, or it can be excluded. So I don't want a single family residential. I want one of these other things. Okay. So that's kind of the purpose behind that paragraph. Including condominiums and manufactured homes would be included under single family residential. Okay. So again, if you check the box there, then these are not going to be included. Could be multifamily residential with 2 to 4 units. It could be 5 or more units. Essentially, when we get into 5 or more, we're getting outside of civil code and we're getting into uniform commercial code. And so we're going to be looking at commercial transactions at that point. Industrial, vacant land, commercial. So we said it again, probably because most people don't know that 5 or greater is not covered by civil code. Tenancy in common or the following specified properties only. So you could have a very specific property that you're contemplating writing the offer for the buyer. Remember, this has to be written before the offer is written. And so it could be a very specific property. So then we get into paragraph number 2B2, which is the actual location. And then we give you two choices, county, city. Again, the more broad that you make it, the less likely it would be to be enforced. So, we want to narrowly construe that. Perhaps if you put in, for example, Orange County, and then you put in specific cities within Orange County, you might be taking care of that just fine. Additional description is kind of B3 is kind of what we used to do. We used to put in a handful of zip codes. And if you've watched any of my videos, I've always recommended maybe 5 zip codes, assuming that they're not, going to cover a huge expanse. But to say something like all of Orange County might be a little too broad and overreaching. Okay. So that's kind of the purpose behind this part of the agreement. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about paragraphs number 2B, 2C, and 2D.